We are live. Kings lose 136 to 125. Fans are angry. Fans are mad, man. I'm here for y'all. Y'all can call in the show, vent, talk about how bad every single player on this team is. Now you want to trade everybody away. Okay? I'm here for y'all. Okay? The number is 209 565 3079. Again, that's 209 565 3079. Let me put that in the description box. 565 3079. So, y'all can call in the show. I'm here for y'all. Okay? Shoot or shoot, get your merch, bro. Merch is hot, man. But, oh man, I told y'all they weren't going to win the game last night. And I told you guys that we're going to do this all over again, that I was going to regurgitate this all over again. So, never get too high, never get too low. The season's still young. The Kings are only like 2.5 games out of the A spot. All they got to do is get the 10 seed, and they can qualify for the play-in. That's simple, y'all. And they got to fix some things, got to tweak some things. My biggest thing is what really happened in that 20-0 run, right? And you really, obviously, the simplified answer is, oh, they didn't play defense. Like, no, there's more to it than that, right? From a X's and O standpoint, I want to know what really happened. And we're going to dive into the film tomorrow for sure. Once the game is up on the website that puts up the games, and just crack down on every single play during that 20-0 run, because that was it just the brilliance of Kyrie Irving? Was it guys were going under the screens? They were getting too open shots. What was it, right? Were they switching too much? Were they not fighting over the screen? I want to know. Like, I still can't fully comprehend it. So, and honestly, you really can't until you watch the film, and that's just the truth. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what happened there. But I'm here for y'all, man. The number is in there right now. It's 209 565 3079. Y'all can call in and vent and tell me how the season's over, how y'all want to tank, how every single player on this team is not very good. I'm here for you guys. Okay? I understand the frustrations. It's been 15 years without a playoff berth. I get it. I get it. So I'm not mad at you guys at all. I'm not mad at y'all. What's up, Chris Vega? What's up? It's Justin BTW, Lou SDG, Boss Up Production. Jabari, it just seems like he's gonna get traded somehow. I mean, he's not playing. He's out there after the game shooting shots without no ball boy. I don't know what's going on with him, man. It's tough to watch because I was hopeful for him. He was one of the guys that people were talking before the season started that he was playing well right before he got injured, and we haven't seen him. So it's tough, man. I feel like offensively he's really good still, but defensively it could be another story, and we haven't seen enough to make that full judgment. Time to tank, ha ha ha. Hey, not there's no time to tank, man. No time to tank. Nah. Monte just wrote the letter to fire Walton. Why happen? Make Lou want mad. Season is far from over. Big facts, Francis. Man, tough game. It was tough, man. 136, 125. Kyrie finished with 40 points on 9 of 11 from beyond the arc. That's efficiency. That's efficiency. That's pretty good. Right? James Harden, 13 rebounds, 14 assists, 29 points. That's going to get it done. He don't play a lick of defense, so that I've seen him do this in Houston, but right now it's extremely apparent that he doesn't even try on defense. It's sad, which he's like he made Koja look like a superstar today. He was just driving by him and just like shoot or shoot, right? Like he was shooting and just It was tough, bro. Like he made Kojo look like a superstar today for sure. And this false narrative of and I love Mark Jones and I love Doug Christie, but they were saying towards the end of the game when Kojo was making buckets in garbage time that they got to give him a bigger role when we've been praying that he gets a smaller role, that they simplify his role and just take away some of the minutes, and y'all want to give him more minutes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I got a vent about that. And Whiteside patting up his stats, right? In garbage time. Oh Lord. It's the Kings, man. Garbage time players making garbage time plays in garbage time. What can I say? What can I say, man? How's Bagley at center? I mean, they played the Nets. It's just tough to really analyze a player offensively that struggles notoriously all season, like Kojo, right? And you watch them against the Nets, and they make everybody look good. So, and again, this isn't a secret. Like Kojo isn't good offensively; he's a fringe NBA player, but for some reason, like, look, cool, man. If the broadcast team, if they want to make him seem like he's a good player, if they're trying to raise his trade value, uh, so be it. But I'm pretty sure the other 29 GMs are pretty smart. So let's take the first call tonight, man. Hello and welcome to the show.
Yo, what's up, my man Leo?
What's up, brother?
Watching this, I'm a new viewer. I've been watching this podcast, rewatching some of the old streams you've been doing. But my name's Ryan, by the way. But anyway,
Appreciate you, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna say I know everything. I know exactly a fix that's gonna happen. But to me, when I'm looking at the Kings lineup, right, you got their depth lineup. You got Fox, Buddy, Halliburton, Barnes, and Holmes. And you look, that's they're undersized, obviously, but the thing that they have is they got quick, agile guys with long arms. So to me, we're doing too much of read and react to what the offense is doing. We just need to be dictating more on defense. We need to be getting up into guys and being aggressive, and sending random surprise traps and just being just a nuisance to play against. Like, we need to be the team that people look like, and they're like they're like, oh shit, we got to play the Kings, and they're going to be messing with us all.
Like they did towards the end of the game in garbage time, right?
Exactly. It's like they make the adjustment way too late. Why not do that in the second or third quarter? And that's something I respect from Nick Nurse, right?
Yep.
He'll just throw the kitchen sink at a team. He didn't care. He'll try anything.
Yep.
And I remember I was watching a Mavs game against the Raptors. Right, the Raptors, they're down by 32 points, and all of a sudden they start doing the diamond full court press.
Yep. That's a great coach, though. I mean, Nick Nurse is a great coach.
Right, and obviously, Luke's not Nick Nurse, but I don't know what the hell goes on in those timeouts. What are they saying? There's no adjustments made, hardly I ever see, and the only adjustments ever made is at the end of games, and it's too little, too late.
So from your point of view, because obviously I still don't comprehend or understand what really happened in the 20-0 run from an X and O standpoint, what did you see, if anything at all, or are you going to go back to and watch the game?
I mean, yeah, I got to go back. I usually watch film on the Kings losses, but I wasn't really paying attention too much because I was trying to do some schoolwork. But, it just looked like the Nets are a team that just score 40 minutes a night and never fall asleep, and the Kings fall asleep for 3 minutes.
Yep.
I look up and boom, down by 20. I'm like, whoa, what happened?
Yeah.
So I got to go back and look and see what happened there.
Yeah, man. Great call, brother. Appreciate you as always, Ryan.
All right, thanks, bro.
Thanks, man. Great call from Ryan. Again, it's easy to say, well, they weren't playing defense, but what really happened, right? I want to know exactly what happened Like, did this guy uh, miss? Was he miscommunicating? Like who was it, man? I was kind of like on and off too, and I really wasn't paying attention to that much. And next thing you know, like it's a 2 point game, and it's like they're down by 12, and they're down by 15, and you're just like, what the, like, what happened? And partly is because again I wasn't really locked in, but my gosh, was it like that? But the number is in the bio if y'all want to call in. It's the Google number. Mazur says we have been having problems in the defensive end for 16 damn years. I know it's that's surface level though. Like, yeah, I get it, but what is it? Obviously, we know that this team doesn't have the best of athletes. From like they don't have the Raptors defenders, right? Like a Siakam, an OG, a Lowry who's extremely smart, right? A Powell, a Fred VanVleet who's extremely tough as well. And last year they had Ibaka, so and this year they got Boucher, and then they have a really good coach to go along with that to complement those players. Like obviously the Kings don't have that, but they do have Rashawn, right, who didn't play tonight. They do have Tyrese. And he's starting to slip a little bit defensively. I saw some frustration from Luke. He's again, I'm not sure whose fault that was on certain possessions where Kojo and him are not communicating very well. I have to go back and again watch the film and see whose assignment that was. There's been miscommunication for sure. Early in the game with Kojo and De'Aaron Fox, I don't know if you guys caught that. They were going back and forth. Like, were they supposed to switch? Were they supposed to fight over the screen? Um, I Bagley got torched defensively. That's that's not new news, right? And man, like again, I just want to go back and rewatch what really happened. Just lock in all distractions, put the phone away, and just see what really happened. Like that's what I want to know. We lack the defensive personnel. Yep, you said it. Yeah, that's part of it. But also, when you look at Coach Rex, right, who came from the Clippers, y'all saw what happened to the Clippers last year, where they they disintegrated, being up 3-1. And I feel like if he's making all the calls defensively, there's so much indecisiveness with him that this team doesn't have an identity defensively still until this day. And that's part of the problem, in my opinion. Like, he's just too indecisive. And when you win games, all that is covered up without question. But when you start losing games, you start asking the same questions that I had before the Kings were on the winning streak. And that was, what are they? Like, I still don't know. Obviously, it just seems like it changes from game to game. But as I've said in the past, the Bucks notoriously is known to give up threes and protect the paint. That's how they play. They'll live and die with teams shooting threes, contested threes. Some not so contested, and it, but they won't give you the paint. That's just what they do. So this team, sometimes you see guys fighting over screens. Sometimes there's a lot of switches, and then that's where you lose guys, and that's where the misunderstandings on defense happen. So it's tough. Like, and that has to fall on the coaches. That has to fall on Coach Rex, who's the defensive coordinator of this team, right? And ultimately on Luke as well, because he's the head coach of this team. But those are things that you got to be thinking about, though. Marvin Bagley, 19 points, 21 minutes, solid performance offensively, 7 rebounds. He showed a lot tonight in terms of skill sets. He had that nice step back jump shot over James Harden, which was nice to see. But yet again, not to discredit him, but Kojo had 22 points, and Whitehead had 26 points. So there is a fine line of fool's gold, right? Because the Nets make everybody look good, and they had 125 points. So, but that doesn't take away from the nice movement and the nice skills that he displayed. But in terms of the overall performance, I mean, he was awful defensively, but it's growth, I guess. Like, right, just like the broadcast loves to say every single game, even when he makes mistakes, it's like, oh well, he intended to make the right play, so he's growing. Too much of that. Too much of that. Bro, you need to host me on this perfect discussions. So we have lost 3 in a row without our starting lineup intact. People, that's 90% of it. So sad we got cooked. Keep on hustling. Did anyone cover how Jordan can overproduce offensive fouls that are not called when? Oh, that was one of my biggest things that I was looking at today. And again, man, these referees are just terrible. They're so inconsistent, just league-wide, not even Kings games. Just watch other games, which I do a lot. And when you watch the inconsistency, like if a guy's name is not a star or they're not part of a really good team, they're gonna get called for moving screens. And tonight, DJ Brown, anytime Kojo would be off ball and try to deny the ball on James Harden, like a dude, I think it was Brown, he'd go set a screen, a moving screen, and right in front of the ref to get James Harden open, and no call. Like we've seen that 1,000 times from other opposing teams, and then Rashawn Holmes does it, and it's a foul every single time. Like the inconsistencies, bro, it's just it kills me, man. And to think that, or to think that some people, and again, they're NBA workers and they're team workers, so they'll say that these refs are the best refs in the world. Like, no, they're not. They're awful. They're terrible. They're so inconsistent, and there needs to be accountability for these guys who make glaring mistakes. These are glaring mistakes. Too many mistakes, right? And I'm tired of it. It hurts the game of basketball. It hurts the game we love. Period. Something needs to happen. Something needs to happen ASAP. These guys got to start getting fined. I don't know, but the amount of calls that they miss, it's just, oh my gosh, it's terrible, man. It's terrible. Daryl says Fox ripped Kyrie and Buddy turned it over. In the fast break, we were down 2. I think that turnover honestly deflated the team in the third because the 20-0 run started there. That's interesting. That's a fair point. I didn't know that's where that's where the run started. That's interesting to know. But I do remember that turnover. It was an awful turnover, by the way. I'll tell you that if Holmes could get away with those moving screens with either Fox or Hallie, we would be unbeatable. Gosh. Yeah, just like Draymond and Looney get away with all that moving stuff, all those moving screens with Steph Curry, bro. It's on top of Steph being amazing moving without the ball. He has a huge advantage that refs don't call these moving screens. Like, it's ridiculous. Exactly, no identity. First few games, great defense and effort. Then boom, historical bad defense again. Great defense and effort. Boom, lose streak again. Luke doesn't have the personnel to be mad at him for subs. Oh, that's a great point too. Substitutions, right? Which is my boy Big Asian that he brought up. Giant Asian. Shout out to him and his Instagram page. He brought up a great point also that too many times you sub out three really good players when you should have a mix of guys coming in and out. Like you can't take out Barnes, Fox, and Buddy, or Fox, Barnes, and Holmes, just as an example. Like you can't take out those guys at the same time and substitute new guys in. You don't have the bench for that. Your bench is terrible. You got one really good bench player in Halliburton, which honestly he's part of your big five. He's part of your top five players, but just just imagine, like, if you remove Halliburton off that bench, it's just awful. Low IQ, not very gifted athletically, uh, slow. My gosh. And I keep telling you guys, you just can't do that. Like, you can't just pull out three dudes, there is no room for mistakes on this team. And when you only have 5.5 good players, right? Bagley is 0.5, then you have to play your main guys 30 plus minutes a night, but you also have to be smart about how you take them in and out. um the Nets are going to be a really tough team out in the playoffs, man. They wear you down different. Usually teams are worn down through defense, but they do it with offense, just relentless 48 minutes scoring. They're really good, obviously. Like, you got three superstars on that team, and they got a great shooter, and you got a nice role player in Brown, and I like the veteran presence from Green. If they get Drummond, they gonna win the championship. I'm gonna tell you right now. Like, if they get Andre Drummond, they win the championship. Because DJ is just awful. Like, he gotta retire. Him and Kojo gotta retire, man. Those plays are Lillard jobs. Baseline falls away with. All right, second call. Welcome to the show.
I got a trade.
What's up, brother?
Bielitsa for Kevin Knox.
I don't see why the Knicks do that. I mean, would you trade Kevin Knox or would you trade Kevin Knox for Bielitsa?
Well, Kevin Knox is not really playing that well for the Knicks, so maybe. And he's not even getting play time either.
And you think it's an addition by subtraction, or do you think Bielitsa, thinking from a Knicks perspective, Bielitsa is going to help that team out?
Maybe.
It's tough. I don't think that'll happen. But any other trade?
No, but I'll think of one and I'll call you back.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right.
Bielitsa for Knox. Again, I don't see that happening. You always got to ask yourselves, would the other team trade? So if you want a player, would they trade that player for your player? And be honest. Be honest about that, because that's very important when you make these type of assessments. I'm tired of when the team gets on the roll and they call 3,000 to slow down the game. Superstar non-calls. Luke needs to go. Nate McMillan got fired after being coach of the year conversation, making the playoffs every year. Luke hasn't shown no progress with his team. Alvin Gentry deserves to take over. Alvin Gentry's not a great head coach either, bro. He's not a good head coach. He's a good assistant coach, just like Luke Walton is. But as I've said from the very beginning, I've been very honest about this. And up front, I think Luke has a bigger upside as a head coach than Gentry does, because we've seen what Gentry is as a head coach in this league, and he's not a very good one. He's a good assistant coach. Just call it the way it is. And that's what I think Luke is. But if I had to choose between both, I'd choose Luke easily. But yet again, if I had a choice, I wouldn't choose neither. So, Gentry is well respected, but isn't a really good coach. Well, Miles Bridges to help our bench. But Miles Bridges would be he'd be a starter on this team. DJ was getting eaten alive by Whiteside. I never thought I'd say that, bro. He just gotta retire, bro. Terry Thomas out of Gentry isn't the great either, bro. Facts. Please make moves, Kings. Please, Nick. What's up, Nick? Knox is super young though. Man, hang up on him. Jesus Christ. Best case scenario is the Heat use trade exception and throw in the second round pick for Belly. That's it. I mean, that's pretty much that's what I told. I forget who last night. Like, you might get a second round pick. Might. Um, Thanks for coming on after loss. You're the best. You're a beast. Appreciate that, Nick. Free Buddy and Barnes. What are your thoughts? Donald Trump's on the stream, bro. What? What are your thoughts on the Barnes being MIA last 4 games? He's been our most reliable and consistent player all year. I think he's obviously going through a dry spell, right? I also think it's how he's been used, and I would say he's exerting a lot of energy defensively, which he has all year, right? And maybe it's just catching up to him. That could be one thing. The way he's used is one thing. Just the fact that he's going through a dry spell is one thing. The fact that he didn't play with Fox is one thing. And when Fox didn't play that game, obviously he was more of a center of attention for the defense, and he wasn't playing freely. When Buddy doesn't perform or shoot the ball well, it also hurts him as well. Man, like I really can't pinpoint one exact thing, but that's a good question just to keep my eye on when I rewatch this game. But it's tough, man. Like, that's a difficult one because you're right. Like, he's been the most consistent player, and he's really good, but he's been struggling. What did Donald Trump say? Should we pull the plug on Bagley or be patient on him? Oof. I'd pull the plug, but everybody else would say just be patient. Who would be a realistic option to trade for that could actually make us better? Realistic, Lonzo would instantly make this team better. Like, one of the big trades that Javi, our boy Javi has proposed is Kojo and Jabari and the 2021 protected first round pick for Alonzo Ball and JJ Redick. You get rid of Kojo, so Luke doesn't have an excuse not to play him no more. And you bring in a really good playmaker off the bench and Alonzo Ball. I think that helped this team tremendously, man. That's something that if I'm the Pelicans, I sincerely look at that and I'm like, well, I'm getting the first round pick, or they can just wait it out and just see what teams offer Lonzo Ball because he is restricted. But I mean, Lonzo's averaging like 13 points on 37% from beyond the arc. He's a great playmaker. He's a very good defender. He's a good player. So that's what I think. Obviously, I'd love to go after OG from the Raptors, Norman Powell, like those type of guys. I don't think the Raptors do it because they would prefer to use those type of guys for a bigger trade to get a star. Say like a Bradley Beal over there. They're keeping their options open for sure. So I don't know, man. I for sure want to go after OG. Like, OG would tremendously help this team. He'd be so good on this team. It's all good. Tank for Cade. Just kidding. Um, Cade's nice, bro. Like, Cade's real nice. At 6'8", he's smooth. Like, he's real smooth. If we have a chance of being good and have to try to develop bags, The fact that Luke doesn't use his timeouts when he's supposed to tells you a lot about his IQ as a coach. That does bug me. The fact that he just allows runs and runs, you're just like, I just want to, like, no, you don't give a team that much freedom that needs structure, and the Kings need structure. It's ridiculous, bro. I mean, just look at Thibodeau, right? And he gets criticized in the playoffs. This team got to make the playoffs first before they get criticized for that. Thibodeau is a very good coach, and he micromanages his teams, and he gets the best out of them. Would you trade Aaron Gordon for Bagley? First of all, you can't do that because their salaries don't match. But I'm not in love with Gordon either, bro. Like he's like Wiggins to me. Like he's just so inconsistent. He has all the talent in the world to be great, but he's just a guy, man, that just gets paid a lot, and he's frustrating to watch. Like he's so frustrating to watch for me. If we did that trade, Lonzo, that would be great. Like for real. We ain't getting AG for bags. Please trade Kojo. The goal shouldn't be to sneak into the playoffs. The goal should be to build a championship team with longevity. But it's not just sneaking into the playoffs. It's building, establishing a winning culture here in Sacramento. You already got a star in De'Aaron Fox. You have that piece. You like to think that Tyrese is going to be his Robin, right? And that he's going to grow into that role. He's going to get better. He's going to become a better scorer. Like, those are your foundational pieces. And when you have a guy like Fox, and I keep saying this, I don't know, I don't understand you guys, man. Like, yep, welcome to the show.
What's up?
What's up, bro?
I got a trade.
What's the trade?
So, Barnes, Bielitsa, and Whiteside for Miles Turner and TJ Warren.
Barnes, Bielitsa, and who?
Whiteside.
Okay, for who?
For Miles Turner and TJ Warren.
That's not a bad trade for either side.
Yeah, so what do you think about that?
I think it's interesting. I think they would definitely entertain it. Whether or not they pull a trigger is a different story, but that's more realistic to me, right? Because I think HB fits better, especially with Sabonis. And like to me, I'm not a big Miles Turner fan, just me personally, because the man is soft, but that would then allow them to play Sabonis at the 5, and then HB, Brogdon, and they got Karis LeVert. I mean, that's nice. So
yeah.
And then, but they lose Warren, who hasn't really played much this year, or if at all. I'm not very sure, but I know he's been banged up.
Yeah.
He was a rarity, a big time surprise in the bubble though. So I don't know how much they value him. It's interesting though. I mean, it's definitely your best trade yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll let you know later on.
All right, buddy. That was a much better trade, I think. I think that for sure. Going back, Buddha, to your my thing is like, I understand that, but if the team stays put, like this dry spell is not gonna last forever, man. The Kings already show what they're capable of doing, right? When they went on this winning streak. And honestly, I don't anticipate this team being like having like a really high draft pick because De'Aaron Fox is that good, and a lot of his timing and rhythm. When he missed that game against Orlando, it's been kind of hard for him to just recuperate, but he's going to get better. Probably next game, he's going to put up like 30 points, and the Kings are going to win. So, unless you take away good players like HB and Buddy, and you trade them for assets, like guys that aren't good yet, then that's how you can tank and then develop and then get a high draft pick. But this team right now, like, I get it. It's always what have you done for me lately, right? Like people forgot about what happened a week ago. It's fine, but honestly, I don't think this team's that bad, and they're not as bad as they've shown to be, honestly. So I don't anticipate a top 10 pick if the team stays put. If that makes sense, and I hope it does because it makes a lot of sense to me. Like Fox is that guy, and he's not gonna let them be like a top 5 worst team to get a top 5 pick. So that's where the disconnect is for me, at least, when we discuss, okay, well, can they tank? And the only way you can tank is again if you get rid of these guys, right? If you take away a Barnes and Buddy from him, and you're like, all right, well, I'm gonna trade him for young players and young assets, maybe a first round pick, and then you will start losing games for sure. So that's what I try to tell people, and I don't know why they don't understand that, but I think I made it pretty clear. A real shooter like JJ Orlando ain't doing it. We need the size of wing to defend elite scorers. Need a defensive player. No more young players. Gordon's overrated. Bagley is getting it better. Yeah, I don't care. Build something, agree, Leo. We need stability and consistency. Barnes has been the best this year. What would it take to get Bradley Beal? Definitely Tyrese Halliburton. Like, you got to include him in the trade for sure. You need more than Fox and Tyrese to win. To win a championship, yeah. I mean, you're just waiting though. Like, how good is Fox going to be? And then how good is Tyrese going to be, right? But before, like, I don't know why people keep talking about championships. Like, it's so foolish to me when people say that. Like, the team hasn't made the playoffs in 15 years. First of all, you got to make the playoffs. Just like, and I'm going to give you the best analogy. That Blazers team that lost to Marcus Aldridge, that lost like 3 starters that year, right? When they made the playoffs. And then they had a young CJ, young Dame, and they were supposed to be awful, right? They lost a bunch of players. But ever since that, they've been good. And Dame and CJ elevated their games. They grew up real fast, and the team has been in the playoffs. Yet they've been stuck. But yet again, y'all make it sound like winning the championship is hella easy. Like, it's not. It's so hard to win the NBA championship. And when you have a dynasty like the Warriors for 5 years, doesn't matter. Like, the Rockets were arguably the best team to never win a championship. The Rockets and the Kings of 02, right? It's not easy winning the NBA championship, man. And I don't understand this false narrative out there. Like, oh, we gotta plan for the future and just keep developing. Like, y'all know it took Fox 4 years to get to this point. Are we gonna wait another 4 years to make the playoffs? Like, while we keep losing games and we keep stinking it up and we keep developing, if that's what you want to call it, if you want to keep rebuilding, you're just building losers, man. You're building losing habits. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. You're building losing habits. I'm tired of it, man. You need to start winning games. You need to start establishing greatness in this organization. You got a great player in De'Aaron Fox. You got that. Build around him and put veterans who are good now. He's going to elevate guys. If y'all think he's as good as I think he can be, he's going to elevate guys, period. Period. And if Bagley becomes something close to Sabonis, if they keep him, you got something there. It's baby steps, man. Like, this idea of getting another prospect and then hoping that he develops properly. Just watch Bagley, man. I mean, that, my God. It's just it's hard to swallow and just to wait, like just to keep waiting and watching mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. Oh, he's gonna be good. Oh yeah, well he's gonna be good one day. When's he going to be good? It's terrible, bro. Richard Noble. What's up, bro? Hey, Leo, it's Richard from Tampa. This shouldn't be expected tonight as we are lacking the bench. We only are a team that's 5-7 deep. We need at least a wing at the 3, and we need a shooting guard. Am I wrong? You're not wrong, bro. I mean, I keep saying that every single show. Like, this team needs to upgrade Kojo. Get rid of Kojo because Luke loves to play him. And they got to upgrade Glenn Robinson's minutes. Daquan Jeffries is a dude. They just got to play him. But in my eyes, he's a guy. He's a nice bench piece to have. Right? He's so strong. He's smart off the ball. He's good on the ball defensively. A lot of people don't understand when you come off an injury, an ankle injury like the way he did, that could have ended his entire season, honestly. Like, it's crazy. And, De'Aaron Fox recovered so fast, but then it took him like 2 months to get to where he was in those last 10 games before the whole pandemic hit. I don't know if you guys remember, but yes, it took him like a month, which was a very severe injury, very severe ankle injury, but he wasn't playing well. And it took him a while to really get his feet under him. And to expect Daquan just to come in guns blazing, like, he's missed the entire season. But to me, he is a guy. He's a nice piece to have off the bench. He's a wing, like a strong defender, a nice 3-and-D guy. Like, I believe he can be that guy. But you still need 2 bench pieces to really elevate this team to the next level. Guys that can at least sustain that when the – so if Luke likes to take out 3 guys at a time, guys that can sustain leads or to keep you in games, right, where they're not a minus, where they're at least breaking even. So definitely got to upgrade those positions, bro. Like, if you want a backup, just a backup combo guard that has playmaking skills. And then, obviously, a wing. Any buyout trade players that Kings could snag to make the push? Playoffs, Blake Griffin, Drummond, JaVale, George Hill, Horford. Bro, I'd love Horford. I love Drummond. Blake, I'm not too sure how he'd fit. George Hill, I'm not a big fan of. JaVale. JaVale and Whiteside are like neck and neck in terms of like silly and goofy, and JaVale has cool vlogs at least, but no, we are gonna be out for a top pick and not good enough to be in the postseason again. Purgatory Kings, bro, this shit gets old. Been tanking forever. I'm with you. No tanking. Facts, bro. No Barnes for Gary Trent Jr. Hell nah. Bro, the Kings had Gary Trent Jr. They sold Vladi sold him for money. Horford would be great for us, bro. Horford, oh my gosh, Horford off the bench or to start. Like, again, Rashawn Holmes doesn't care about starting. He cares about having a defined role. You're gonna probably end games with Rashawn Holmes, but bro, Al Horford's a beast, and if they buy him out and you get him, which then you're not paying him what he's getting paid now because the other team's gonna pay him. So I mean, he's a quality player. He is still a quality player till this day. My realistic draft pick for the Kings is Keon Johnson. I see he would be a great fit for the Kings. Is he the kid from Tennessee? He's nice. A 1-star player is enough. So you don't think Halliburton's going to be a star? Beal would be perfect. We need that star power. Wizards know the value they have in him. Bro, Beal would be so good, man. Like, we went from winning streak this season, and we have had a lot more losing streaks. So I don't know anything really about Tyrese. He hasn't ever had a good training camp. Well, we know dude could come in next year and average 26 and 8. It's a good point. It's a real good point. Being a Kings fan, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta establish that culture. You know what I'm saying? Like you just can't keep losing and just keep getting rid of good players. Like the Kings have good players, Buddy, HB, Holmes, and all these people trying to trade them. It's like you're just continually creating this negative culture, this losing culture, man. Like De'Aaron's gonna get tired, and then he's going to demand a trade. And y'all know the NBA. Like the NBA, their stars control this league. Like they do what they want at the end of the day. And if you're not showing him that you're trying to win games, what do you think is gonna happen? I keep trying to tell you guys this. Being a Kings fan is like being in a relationship that is long overdue. To telling Trump, bro. Trump, shout out to Trump being a Kings fan, huh? Uh, the worst area to be not making the playoffs, but good enough to be outside the top 10 pick. That would be the worst area. But if they get into the top 10, which a lot of people forget, if you get into the top 10, it gives you a chance to make the playoffs in that play-in game. You're making it acceptable to lose games if you tank. Exactly. Bro, did you see the stats? All right. Welcome to the show. Hello, welcome to the show.
So the other guy made a dumb trade. I think I got a better one though.
Okay. What's your name?
So I got Jonathan.
What's up, Jonathan?
All right, so I got Barnes, Bielitsa, and Jabari Parker, or Jay Crowder and Mikal Bridges.
I love me some Mikal Bridges, but I don't think they make that. I think they love Mikal Bridges, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but they're getting Barnes, Bielitsa, and Jabari.
Yeah. But that's Mikal Bridges you're talking about. Like, it's not. It's not ridiculous. It's not like, oh my god, that's a dumbass trade. It's definitely something to think about. And for them, if they're making the push, they do get a Saudi veteran, a champion in HB to go along with CP3 and Devin Booker. It's interesting, man. I mean, it gets me excited for sure. I mean, I've never heard that one before.
Yeah.
All right, Jonathan, appreciate it, bro.
All right, thanks.
So, what do y'all think about that one? I think that's interesting. I love Mikal Bridges, man. Trump messaging on here from Roseville. Time to put a son to a contract. Oh God, no! Please don't say that. I say in 2 years we get the first pick, draft Bronny, and then we're gonna be LeBron because he's gonna want to play with the son. That Grizzly game was simply unacceptable. Facts. At this rate, we don't even need to tank. That's not true, bro. Like, it's not gonna keep. It's not gonna stay this way. I mean, Fox is gonna regain his composure and just help the Kings win games. That's how good he is. No more Luke, Kojo, and Whiteside. I remember hooping at Striply with you. What's up, Tube23? We ain't making the playoffs. Yeah, Derek, I still question if it was real injury for Fox. These guys had 2 days full rest after that Sixer game. We're not good enough to be resting players if that really was the case. That would be stupid if that was the case. Austin Rivers is someone we should get. He's a nice combo guard, yeah. I like him for sure. Only thing the Kings did tonight was make the Nets sign Andre Robertson right now. We were wasting Fox's early years. We need to make some moves. ASAP, trade Buddy, new coach, start Hallie, play the youngsters. Yeah, Isaac, wish they didn't blah, blah, blah. We make that trade. Jonathan is a goat, man. He researched hard. If I was I wouldn't make that trade if I was the Suns. Okay, that came from Derek. Whiteside coach of Buddy and Barnes get assets and free up cap, and you sign. Nobody wants to sign that's good with the Kings, especially if they know that you're tanking. Bro, the word gets around the league. Like, why do you think CP3 wanted to go to the Suns, even though that was fool's gold in the bubble and they played a lot of teams that were resting guys, but they went was it 8-0? Like 7-1? Winning excites guys, man. Like, that's what you don't understand. Like, I don't know how differently I can explain this. Like I've explained it the best I could. It's ridiculous, man. If you switch Mikal for Cam Johnson, you might have a deal. From the Suns' perspective, yeah, duh. Like I trade Cam Johnson for HB too, but Mikal is nice. Another call. No caller ID.
You know what's good?
What's up?
To keep on hustling.
Huh?
It's to keep on hustling.
Keep on hustling?
Yeah, it's my YouTube name, and I got a shirt for you.
Oh, what's up, bro? Are you Jonathan?
No.
Oh, okay. Keep on hustling. Go ahead, bro.
Alright, Zach Levine, Markkinen for Bagley, Buddy, and a first rounder.
That doesn't get it done. No way. I mean, from the Kings, that's a my God, I'm gonna fly you out to the airport type thing, and bring you roses. But for the Bulls, that's just stupid. Like, why would you? No. I mean, Zach Levine's an all-star this year.
Rounders?
Might have to be 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Because you got to think, Levine himself is worth 2. Marketing is worth 1, especially if John Collins. This is just market value, right? If the Hawks want a first-round pick for John Collins, and Marketing is averaging essentially the same amount of numbers, and they're the same age, and they're from the same class, that gives you right there. Like, you're gonna need at least 3 first-round picks.
Mhm.
So, are you willing to give up 3 first-round picks, Bagley and Buddy?
It's a little too much.
But why is it too much? If you're gonna have a Zach Levine to go with De'Aaron Fox and a nice stretch big and Marketing.
Well, then you can be getting like a lot of stars out of those first rounders.
I mean, not if the Kings are winning games. They're gonna be late picks.
Yeah, true.
So that's the mindset that I'm trying to shift people to think about. It's like if you give up your first round picks, it's like you're trying to get all stars to come win games, and then those picks are going to be in the 20s or like 16 and above, right? So it's not, and that's the thing. Like I wonder when people argue about tanking if they think that first round picks means top 10 picks. Because they don't. Like if you get good players, you're gonna win games. Period. And then those picks aren't gonna be high anymore. So, but that's just my 2 cents, man. I appreciate you calling in, brother.
Wait, so what trade do you think is good? Like in your opinion?
I'd make that deal. Like I'd give up 3 first round picks, Bagley and Buddy for Levine and Marketing in the heartbeat.
You'd do that?
I would.
You'd do that?
Yeah.
That's interesting. That would make the Kings good, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that would make the Kings good. Holmes, HB, Marketing, Levine, De'Aaron, bro. That's and Halliburton, bro. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's real nice. That's real nice.
Yeah, I would love for that to happen.
Yeah. All right, brother. Appreciate you, huh? Great call, man. Keep on hustling. Let's get some winners in here, man. Like, if y'all give up these 3 first round picks, who cares? Like, you're getting a young all-star in Zach Levine, a potential borderline all-star, if not even all-star, just a potential really good player in Lauri Marketing. And you make this team better. Like, what are we arguing right now? Mikal Bridges is missing pieces that the Kings need, but I know it's hard to get him to trade. I would draft Chicago to draft Levine. I would do a first rounder for Collins in the heartbeat. The Pistons are rebuilding. Maybe we trade for Grant. That's interesting, but I don't know. I mean, what would it take to get Grant? Obviously, a first round pick guaranteed, but what else, right? Which, for the record, I like Grant. Take out Lauri and make it Buddy, Bagley, first round pick, Levine, and Thomas Sanarowski. I like Thomas, but I'd rather have Laurie. I think Laurie just needs a fresh start, bro. Like Laurie at 7 feet can do things that a lot of 7-footers can't do. Uh, I'm Giant Asian AK. Keep on hustling, bro. I'm confused, man. You just said Fox and Tyrese are gonna be stars. If you throw in a free agent bag, they're gonna take it just like Grant did the year of Detroit. No, bro, no. Like you're missing. Oh my God, no. Grant went there because he wanted a bigger role and wanted to prove himself to the league. That's why he didn't sign a 4-year deal. Thing is, Levine is a free agent. Marketing will be restricted. Not sure if Chicago is willing to extend. He's being Bagley for Brandon Ingram. Uh, I'd do that. Yeah, you'd giving up 3 first round picks. Better get a Beal. I'd give up 3 first round picks for Beal too. Hell no. This team's in a unique position. Got to start winning games in the next couple of years, or Fox might want to reassess his future and sack facts. I'm doing the Bulls trade in the heartbeat. Clippers gave up all those first round picks for PG. I don't care what anyone says. He was worth it. Kings need to be aggressive like that. Big facts, bro. Like guard wings like that, they're worth the price of admission. Like they're worth that because guess what? Those Clipper picks, they're all gonna be in the 20s. Who cares, bro? Like the odds of someone in the 20s, and yes, it's happened, duh. But the odds are so low, and you're getting an all-star. Like I can't hammer that enough in your brains, bro. Like that's crazy. And you can throw them in a useless first round pick in 2023. Yeah, man. Monte will be aggressive this year, bet. Hope so, man. I hope so, bro. I'm tired of losing, but I think it's been a good show, y'all. 57 minutes in. Again, trade proposals. I appreciate everybody who's joined the stream. 10:44. I appreciate every single one of you guys for real, man. Like, it means everything to me. Keep grinding, regardless of what side you're on. Respect each other, right? We're all Kings fans, NBA fans. We love this game, and the ultimate goal is to win a championship in Sacramento. However we get to that point, right? We all have different points of view, which is fine. But the common denominator is we all want a championship. We all want the best of this team. So much love to all you guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Make sure you drop a review on iTunes. This will be available on the audio version as well, wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure you hit the like, dislike, whatever it is, man. Appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next one.